Salam alaikum. Good morning. How you guys doing? Pray you guys are doing great. Like always, Friday here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 66 degrees, cloudy day. Nothing much. Traffic like crazy. I've been in a traffic stop. I'm trying to hit a delivery spot, and whoo, I'm already been here for like 20 minutes. But we'll get there. So I figured, let me turn on the camera. Bet you now I turn this on and now it starts moving. Anyway, guys, peace and blessing be to all your family members. I pray you guys are doing great. Walking the walk, you know how it is. Trying to get better every day. Trying to live life. Trying to live Dikenga. Same old. Small topic is about learning certain processes when you are working in Kisi Malongo Palo, the tradition. There's a lot of things in all these traditions, right, that we do, or we have the capability of helping ourselves and others out with barely no, how can I say, no understanding, right, of how processes work. Why? Because we do something from our heart, from our mind, with the intentions. We're in front of an Nkisi that understands, knows, sees, feels what we feel, hears what we're saying. And we do certain bilongo, right? Certain medicine to help out ourselves and others, and it takes effect, right? It works because of the effort and the projection that you are giving while you are doing that medicine, and the intentions that you have in it. The Nkisi's picking it up, you are speaking, is understanding, and you do the work, right? And most of the times, if not all, it works out. The Nkisi knows exactly what to do, and things for yourself work out, or for the other person that you're doing the work for works out. But there are things here, right, in society that the more you know of, the better it is for you to implement the proper medicine and the proper bilongo for these situations. And I know out there people are going to say, what do you mean? Well, if you're in an area, right, or you are come upon a lot of people come to you for, let's say, court issues, things that have to do with the law, then the best thing for you, or the most beneficial thing for you, is to learn the processes of that county, that state, and also learn some of the processes of law, depending on what area are you working in, whether it's criminal, whether it's misdemeanor, whether it's marriage, divorce, whether it's child support. You know, these type of things, believe it or not, knowing, I'm not saying you have to be a lawyer to do medicine, you don't. But the more you understand these things, helps you profoundly in the medicine that you're going to implement for whatever situation that patient has in that court issue. 1 second, real quick, 1 second. Ay. Sorry about that, guys. I told you as soon as I start recording, the traffic is gonna move. Because the more you know about those processes of the court system, and like I said, depending what you're dealing with, what type of court, municipal, judicial, whichever one you were, Commonwealth, you have to know a little bit, and also find out from that person what state are they at in that case. Is it a preliminary hearing, or they're already being sentenced? You have to understand where they're at that moment when you are there trying to help this person out. Same thing happens with health. I'm not saying, once again, that your Inkisi cannot heal someone or stop a process or delay a process. But if you learn or understand a little bit about health, it could help you in a big way when you're going to implement the medicine to help the person out. Not everyone that practice spirituality are good in health. Not everyone is good with court cases. Not everyone is good in love spells. Not everyone is good in bringing in symbol for businesses. You're always gonna have a niche where you and your Mfumbe are great at. That you're stronger in a certain aspect on helping those people in that aspect. Once again, not saying that the Inkisi can't do it all, but this is how this works. So if you understand these things, right, and you see that the majority of the people that you get, that you're helping, are people that fall kind of in a category that you constantly are getting these type of things, why not study up a little bit on it? Why not study up on the psychology of it? What is it that brings a matrimony to a separation? We know the basic things, but there are things that we do not know. So if we are getting a lot of these type of individuals, patients, or whatever, and you're willing to take on these jobs, then you have to start studying on these processes in order for it to help you prescribe the right medicine for the right situation, for the right time that they are in that process. These are things that you don't hear too many people speaking about. There are some elders that speak about it, and I have been a part. They have invited me in to these classes, and I sit down and I hear, because once again, we don't who knows everything. And I got a couple of gems, from these conversations. But you don't hear too much of these type of things being spoken out here on social media. You hear the common things, we do bilongo and this and this and that. We do bilongo and this and that for this and that. Yeah, I can help you. But you don't hear that people don't explain that there are things that, yes, you could do with your intentions, with your muerto, with your nkisi, with that vibration of you, and yes, it works. But if you could learn more about those circumstances, won't it be more better and beneficial for you to know? And that way it'll be easier for you to implement the right medicine at the right stage, at the right time, with the right amount. I think so. And I think it's beneficial. So even though, like me, I don't like dealing with court issues. That's something that I don't. But it doesn't mean that I don't like dealing with them, that I'm not going to take them on. You understand? So, because I know myself, I don't like to deal with, with court issues, then I'm forced to study a little bit more on these processes of court, of how the system works. You know? And like I said, it's not to become a lawyer. Is to know at least the basics of how these processes work. And it's only for your betterment and your benefit, and also for you could be able to help that patient, that person, in that time of need or in that situation, the correct way, a better way, with more success, and not do something offering a service to a person that's in a predicament or something, and at the end of the day, because of me not knowing the process is right, how things work, it doesn't work out the way I told the person it was going to work out. So you're gonna look bad, you're gonna look like you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna look like you're a fool, you're fake, and all that. And you don't want to do that. So it's better to learn. If you get a lot of things of a certain issue that's constantly coming up, then read up more on it, understand more about it, learn the psychology about it, what causes it, all these things, you know, they come in play. And like I say, you don't have to know it all, but learn something that'll help you out. In order for you to be better at what you're doing, understand more the processes, and understand those patients that come to you. And yeah, you're gonna get a lot of people that are gonna be like, oh, you don't have to know none of that. The Nkisi knows it all. That's fine. But me, myself, and I will learn, or will put time in knowing something more to help me out in a circumstance or a situation that I can apply, because I know the system, or I know how these things come about and end up or work out. Just simple as that. Nothing much, guys. I hope you guys have a good weekend. Unfortunately, here in Philly, man, it's been raining since last week. I think we had like 2 days of rain or 3. This week is almost the whole week already been raining over here. That's how we got all these clouds and all that. I like the rain. You know, for us Puerto Ricans, right? When it rained in Puerto Rico, we ate soup. Believe it or not. Soup is something that in Puerto Rico, rainy days, you eat soup. Fish soup, shrimp soup, sausage soup, ham soup, chicken soup, all types of yams and potatoes, mondongo, all types of stuff. So it's usually like a soup or a broth type of a day, you know. But you get tired of that, right? So you gotta start eating some rice and beans again. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam. Be safe, guys. Blessings. Peace.